Hello, welcome back to Next Level Alignment. Today we're going to talk about building, growing your faith and building trust. And we're going to, talk about a few different ways that you can do that because, literally, I think that what happens to us over time is that we learn how to have faith in things, but what we think is faith, and then we have faith, and then like things happen in our life and we don't understand why. And we question our faith, and then we try to, build our faith. And I feel like that's something that people really don't focus on and teach a lot of anymore. So I want to start bringing this back to life because I'm so excited about it. Because I feel like this is what you should be waking up every day happy and excited to see the wonderful and beautiful things that God's going to bring into your life. And if you're not waking up full of faith that things are going to be good for you that day, if you're waking up with a really sour attitude and feeling bad and feeling sorry for yourself or mad at the world or mad at your coworkers or your husband or your kids or whatever, then, you're really just not starting your day off right. And so I think that everyone should give themselves the opportunity to wake up and be full of faith and happiness and trust. And when you start waking up that way and start your day out that way, then, the majority of the time, the rest of the day ends up being really, really good. So I want you to learn how to start your day and build some faith, some trust exercises, because faith and trust go together. Faith is, believing in something that you can't see, believing in something that maybe hasn't happened yet, but you want it. You want the outcome. You know what you want the outcome to be, but you've got to have faith that it's going to turn out that way for you. And trust is something that builds up over time based off of evidence. So you've had faith that you're going to wake up in a warm or cold house every morning or have shelter. Hopefully, some people have been through times in their life where they didn't know where they were going to live. They didn't know if they were going to have a roof over their head or if they were going to have food in their mouth. So their faith, they had to get past that. They had to start seeing themselves with the thing that they wanted and bring it back into existence in their life before it started to happen. And that's just how faith works. We got to see it happen, got to see it, feel it, taste it, touch it in our mind, in our body, in our soul. And then that's when it becomes real for us, I guess you could say. So some of the little small things that you can do, and I love this because it's so simple and so easy. And this is what you do. You just start out by saying something simple like, I'm going to get a perfect parking place this morning. When I go to work, I'm going to get the perfect parking place when I go to work this morning. And you're going to get to work. You're going to not worry about it. You're going to get your keys. You're going to drive. You're going to listen to your podcast or your music, talk to your family as you're driving, just whatever's going to happen. And then you're going to get it to work. And there's your perfect parking place because you kind of really put that out there, out into the universe and said, hey, this is what's going to happen for me today. This is how I'm starting my day. I'm going to get there. I'm going to have the best parking spot, in the parking lot. So you get there, you get the parking spot, and you get it. You're having a great day, and you know that you can trust that because you put that out there, that happened for you in that way. Okay? And the funny thing is, if every single person that decided to wake up and go to that parking lot that morning, it's so funny, but they would all get the perfect parking spot. And how does that even work? It just does. If they had the faith. If they didn't have the faith, then they would not show up and have the parking spot there for them. So we know that some people would hold the faith and not think about it. Oh my God, it's going to be there when I get there. It's going to be there when I get there. No, I'm going to have the perfect parking spot when I get to work. Boom, forget about it. Go to work, live your life. You get there and it's there. And you can also put a lot of gratitude around that too. So anytime you're doing anything, thank you so much for the perfect, I cannot talk today, perfect parking spot when I get to work. All right, so now that little exercise built up some faith and trust, right? It wasn't a lot, something simple. Now, let's move on to the next one. The next one we're going to do is going to help open you up to be in the receiving mode. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we are all about giving. We love to give, right? We love to give because it makes us feel so good and we're just giving all the time and We're just, walking around because we're the giver. We're always giving things. We're always helping people, right? But how many times do you let people help you? How many times are you in a receiving mode where you are allowing people to help you? We always associate being in a receiving mode kind of in a bad way, because that means like maybe we need something, or we're in a need, or, we don't want people helping us. We don't want to be in a needy situation, right? We want to be the one who's always giving so that we're not in that needy situation. But that's not true. God wants to bless us and give us things even when we don't need them. He wants to give us more than what we expect, more than what we need. He wants us everything. He wants us to have overflow in our life. It's not just about us what we need. He wants us to have what we want, and more than that. So he wants us to live an abundant life, and he proves that by all the trees, all the grass, all the flowers. Can you count the blades of grass on the ground? If you go out onto the cement, can you count the rocks in the cement? If you go into the ocean, can you count the drops of water in the ocean? You cannot. And the reason that you cannot is because there's so much. Can you count the leaves on a tree or a bush, even a small one? You can't count all that. So what this does, and it teaches you, is that there is more than enough for everyone and everybody. What about grains of sand or dirt? Imagine counting that. That shows you the abundance that we have on this earth of everything. Everything. So if you live in lack and you live in scarcity mindset, these are things that you need to come into contact with to help you remember that there's an abundance. Another thing that there's an abundance of is fruit and veggies and meat and animals. And, there's just so much of everything. And you need to be able to see that and connect with that and understand that you were meant to live in abundance. Okay? And you can have more than what you think you were supposed to have. It's okay. You don't have to feel bad about having money, having things. You don't have to feel guilty, ashamed about it. You're not going to hell because of it. It's okay for you to have a rich, luxurious, beautiful life. There's nothing wrong with it at all. So the next little exercise that we're going to work on today is the exercise of receiving. So today, I just want you to say, I will receive $5 today. And I want you to put it out there into the universe. You can use whatever number that you want. And also, I want you to add something at the end. I will receive $5 or more today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then I want you to go about your day. Don't think about it again. Don't worry about it again. And you can use whatever number you want. But if you're having trouble with trusting and having faith and things like that, this is where you start to build your faith muscle. Okay? It's a muscle. It's a muscle memory. And so go about your day. Watch the $5 show up or more. And it could be a coupon, a gift card. Somebody buys your lunch or your coffee, or doesn't make you pay for something that, you wanted in the store, or just whatever. Just, it'll show up, and you'll be like, oh, there's my $5. So it doesn't really matter how it shows up. You can't be too picky about how it happens, because if you are, then it probably won't happen. You got to let the universe show up for you in ways that you had no idea that it could show up, because that is the power of God, and that's the power of the impossible, okay? Because nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. So anyway, let's keep going. These are a couple of things you can do. One more thing we want to talk about real quick, but as we wrap up this short 10-minute video, is I want you to know that another thing you can do after you've done these, please do these one day at a time, and actually do them multiple days at a time, because that's what's going to take you to the next level. And that's when you can grow bigger dreams, bigger visions, have bigger faith in those things, because you literally have to see these things as being done. And that's what you're doing when you're putting it out there in your words, and you're connecting with it, emotionally feeling it, because you really know you're going to get it right. Then that's how you build and strengthen your ability to have bigger and better things in your life. So if you're trying to buy a new home, or make more money, or have better relationships, you start small, building this faith muscle. And as you go, it gets stronger and stronger. And then you start really being able to understand the power of your relationship with your higher source. Okay. The last one that I would recommend doing for a couple of days too. So just do these over the next couple of weeks, just spread them out. And the last one is to say something, you can't find it. There's a document missing that you're trying to find. There's keys you can't find. There's a scarf or a hat or a coat or something that you can't find, go ahead and say, I know it's not lost, it's found. Show me where it's at. And then go about your business. Forget about it. Go do what you've been doing. Continue getting ready. Get, whatever. Do what you need to do. And then just wait, allow it to show up. Don't wait for it. Be like, okay, where's it at? Where's it at? You can keep looking for it too. That's okay. And keep looking, and that's fine too. Because especially when you really, really need something, I know I've done that before. So try these exercises. Work on these exercises that are going to help build you up into a more faith-built person. You're going to have more faith in the things that go on. You're going to trust yourself. You're going to trust your intuition and listening to where you go and how it goes. We're going to have more exercises like this that I promise are going to get bigger and better. We're going to build bigger and better visions for you so that you can have, like I said, the dream home you want, the dream car that you want, the dream relationship that you want, the dream, whatever it is that you want in your life. You can build this. You can do it.